YouTube. All right, our YouTube stream is working. All right, nobody is responding though. Okay, I'm putting a reverse continue on my oil chart.
Goolsby says so far inflation expectations do seem anchored.
Oil has not
A
rolled
reminder in
over
5 minutes'
yet.
time, expecting comments from Fed's Myron speaking in a TV interview.
Oil, looking at when it rolls over.
And Goolsby further saying inflation expectations seem anchored, but once they go wrong, it is hard to fix.
We're on oil 5, okay? I was not thinking oil, I was thinking gold. Gold is closer to rollover. It's only 4 days away, so gold rolls over at the end of the week. So keep that in mind. Gold is going to roll over. So is oil safe to trade this morning? It's down $6.88. Probably not. You may not get normal price action on a breakout at the open, but I'll trade it in an account that no matter what happens, it's not a funded account. It's just an account I'm working on. All right.
Trump to Fox Business says deal with Iran could be 5 days or sooner.
So account number 35 for us is our prop account that we're going to use for risk, the riskiest reports. 36 is an account that we're trying to build up to become our third funded account. I have to enable my second funded account today, and then we have a funded account that we've been working on as well. And I do have two smaller,
According
two
to
end of the
Axios,
day
Turkey
accounts that don't let
and
me
others
trade as many
passing messages
contracts.
between the US and Iran.
So we might use those for signals and magnets, possibly. Right now, I'm going to put a reverse continue on my oil
Fed's
chart.
Goolsby says the Fed could be back in an environment of multiple cuts, also see conditions where the Fed would hike.
So right now, we're
According
just
to an
putting
Axios
one
reporter
target,
on X,
one
saying
position.
Turkey, Egypt and
We'll
Pakistan
use a
have been
30
passing
tick
messages between
target
the US and Iran over the past 2
and a
days
30
in an effort
tick
to
stop.
de-escalate, according to
A
the
30
US
tick
source.
stop.
Goolsby says historically oil
We'll
shocks
label
have
it
been stagnatory,
CL, reverse continue,
making both inflation and joblessness worse. Trump says Iran wants to make a deal
and I'll
badly,
trade that in a high
could be within
risk prop
5 days
account,
or
number
sooner,
35.
speaking to Fox Business.
All right, number 35.
And Trump to Fox Business says recent Iran talks happened last night.
Now, Trump is saying that he's been talking to Iran. Iran says he's not. Everyone knows that the man cannot speak a single true word. He's a serial liar who never stops lying. It's beyond comprehension that we're in this position and he's allowed to do this. We have no government, no checks and balances. That's not the way it should be. Oil breakout trade. If you think you want to try an oil breakout trade. We've seen oil working a little bit at the open with a breakout. Now, I would go with a bigger bracket today and a bigger stop because of the market. So you have a breakout, and the oil market open is 859.59.
Surely
We've
expected
been
gold to be
using a
fed
bracket of
tomorrow.
15. We'll take a look at that bracket. I think we'll use a 20 today. We'll look at 20, and we have one target, and we'll go 10 ticks on the first target, 30 ticks on the second target, and we'll go with a 25 tick stop. 25 tick stop. Either we'll get a good move or we'll get a whippy move. If you get a whippy move,
Goolsby says,
you
trying
probably
to
need a bigger
understand how
stop
long
than
it will
we'd be
take
willing to
high oil
use today.
prices to impact other parts of the economy.
So I'm going to label this trade. We're going to use the target one stop move feature. If the first target is hit, I'm going to move my stop to break even, BE. And I'm going to label the trade CL breakout. And we're going to trade it in the same account, our risk account. But before we put it on that account, we're going to leave it in sim. We're going to put the time on 0. Put our charts on sim, and we're going to look and see what the bracket looks like for the trade. We're going to have to spread the charts pretty wide.
Order submitted. Order canceled.
I would say today could be the kind of day where you could get frozen orders because of all the volatility, all the outside movement, anomaly kind of movement in the markets today. I'm also going to optional, highlighting the breakout and turning off show the vertical line on entry, apply it and OK it. Put the software back on the breakout, back to the account we're trading, and then put the time back to 8:59:59. That's our trigger time. 8:59:59. Probably, I mean, it looks like you'd want to get filled short today, but who knows? Oil is now down $9. This is not a safe trade. I can tell you that right now. It's not a safe trade. You have anomaly movement. You have anomaly movement. This is abnormal. Okay? So if you get a decent move, the only thing that'll give you a good trade is you just happen to get a decent move, totally random. I mean, trading is totally random anyway, but we need a random breakout in one direction exactly at the open. That would work. Is it the right day to take this kind of trade? Probably not. You might be better off scalping. Now, we do have a reverse continuation on the chart. And probably just based on the kind of movement we're getting, our stop might be too small. Our reverse continuation stop is only 30 ticks. This is a crazy market. You might want to use a 50 tick stop. You can always move your stop and make it smaller. You don't want it to get stopped out the second you enter the trade, right? Just to give you an idea of the kind of movement, put it on sim for a minute right? Put the reverse continue on sim, right?
Feds says we shouldn't make policy on
Account,
short-term
put it on
headlines.
sim.
Feds says premature to judge current
Put the
situation.
chart
I'm currently
trader
speaking on
on
Bloomberg TV.
sim,
We do have a video on
right?
the feed for those interested.
Turn on your strategy. And now if you took a sample trade, let's
Myron
say
says
you want to
traditional central
go,
bank view is oil shocks don't hit core inflation.
let's say we're going to take a short
Order
here.
submitted.
Okay, so that, all I'm trying to make sure is you have a manageable trade in terms of distance. That's all. So if you need to shrink your stop, you just bring it down. Okay, you can shrink your stop.
Order
All
canceled.
right. Just testing the size of the stop and target in this volatility with my chart set up
Order filled.
for the breakout trade. That's all I'm doing. Just testing
So according to Fox Business,
the
talks on the deal with
physical,
Iran
the
that included
physical
envoys
trade,
Kushner and
not
Witkoff and counterparts
real
took place on
analysis.
Sunday night. Feds Myron says the labour market could still use support from monetary policy.
All right. So right now we have a oil breakout for the market open.
German 2-year bond yield now down 10 basis points to 2.568%.
859.59 with a
Feds Myron says
25
still not
bracket.
enough clarity to know
With a
monetary
20
policy should react to
bracket.
current events.
And I think I'm even going to go with a 25 bracket. Target of 10 and 30, stop of 30. Target of 10 and 30 with a stop of 30.
Feds Myron says does expect higher headline inflation, but too soon to say it will hit core.
859.59 on the trigger. And break even, target one stop move on a break even. I'm going to save this template. Oil open, today's date. Calvin wants me to look at the 5-minute chart. Yeah, no, I know. I was looking at a 30-minute chart. I was looking at a 30-minute chart. That's when Trump said he had meetings. He's been having meetings with someone, and no one admits they're having meetings with him. But look,
Feds
there's
Myron says it would be highly unusual for
at
the Fed to
least
react to
the
the oil
world's
shock
not
now.
ending today, or World War III is not starting today. All right, so that's the big drop when Trump was talking to Joe Kernan. Joe Kernan on CNBC.
Feds Myron says second round effects and wage rises could require rate hikes.
So with oil, one more time this morning, trading on a high risk account, the breakout with a 25 bracket will test the bracket. It's definitely high risk to do a breakout at the market open. That I can promise you.
Feds Myron says not seeing current need to consider hikes.
Order submitted. Order canceled.
Let's put our software chart on sim on the breakout so you see the orders.
Order submitted.
All right, that's the
Order
spread.
canceled.
if there's a burst, which we've seen a burst every day for the past couple of weeks, so we'll go back and we'll put our time
Feds, Myron says
at
it could happen that high
8:59
oil drives up inflation, but not seeing
for
it
a
yet.
9 o'clock event, 8:59.59 with a bracket of 25. Targets of 10 and 30 with a stop of 30. Target 1, stop move, break even, BE. That's our setup. We're trading it in a high risk prop account. So Nitin, did you trade the 8 o'clock gold?
Feds, Myron says policy outlook remains for rate cuts.
So our breakout is ready. What happened on your gold? I traded it, but I was using an account. It wouldn't let me use the number of contracts I put on, but it let me lose money, which is not
Feds, Myron
fair.
says pull back to pencil in 4 rate
And then I
cuts.
scalped it back for a couple of $100 win profit. I couldn't tell if it
So
worked
Feds, Myron saying still
because it
projecting
wouldn't let me
4 rate
trade it.
cuts for 2026. Feds, Myron says the job
Yeah,
market is
that's what
continuing
I thought.
gradual softening trend.
All right, so right now I've just got oil set up. I'm going to put a magnet on the YM, high of day, low of day. Probably going to trade a little bit carefully
Thank you for
this
his
morning.
comments from Feds, Myron.
One
Speaking on Bloomberg
position with
TV.
a 50 tick stop at the moment, high of day, low of day. Pretty much everything on default. Label it YM. And my YM is going to be on my funded account. YM will be funded. The stop I put in when you turn on a high of day, low of day, and I may not let it trade this early. This is early. It's a little bit early. You get your orders. So I'll put my orders above 100. I want to get in. And then we could go short today. It's possible. Anything is possible. And I'll put a quick reverse continue on the chart. Reverse continue on the YM chart. One position, a
So Feds,
50, a
Myron just
30. I'll
ending
do my
quote
normal
with saying
35 tick
risks on both
target,
sides of the mandate
35
now
tick
worse.
stop. We'll trade it in the same account. Label it YM. Reverse continue. Put it on the same account. So we'll just make sure we're on our funded account. You don't have to jump into any of these trades. You can trade the YM whenever you're ready.
Trump on True Social says, I am pleased to report that the United States of America and the country of Iran have had, over the last 2 days, very good and productive conversations. Sorry, that was just a
Okay.
repeat from a True Social post.
So, no question, this is high risk. A high risk. On a day like today, when oil is now down $8, you probably should not take a breakout at the open. My guess is the odds for a whipsaw are pretty high. I think there's a pretty good possibility we just get a whip. So 1 minute. On the other hand, people may just pile into the short side. You never know.
US effective federal funds rate at 3.64% unchanged.
Uh, LaGuardia crash, Calvin? Is that what you're saying? Okay, here comes the brackets.
Order submitted. Order submitted. Order filled. Order filled.
Okay, it hit our first target and pulled back, delayed. If you noticed, it was all delayed.
According to market sources, the
So
Japanese government
small
considering
winner,
intervention in oil
small winner.
futures.
Order submitted.
Now I put an order on and it's not showing up. They're not showing up. I just put some orders on and I don't see them. I don't see them. Let me, that's weird. That is weird. What? Hang on. It's in the wrong account. The orders are not showing up on the chart for whatever reason.
Order filled.
Very strange. Very strange. So it didn't show up on the chart. Oh, I know what happened. I know what happened. So I was in sim with my reverse continue. I never changed it. So we'll just forget that for the moment. That was crazy. That was in sim. So our real trade was a winner for $100 is what it's showing. No, $30 winner. $30 winner on the breakout. Okay? That's the only real trade we took. It's the only real trade we took. So a $30 winner, $30 winner on the oil open. I'll show the video in a second. Let me reset everything. I'm not going to continue to trade oil. I want to reset our sim accounts. How do you reset a sim account to make it 0? You just go to sim, right click it, edit the account, reset, make sure clear history is checked, which it usually is, okay it, and then it'll clear it. Now my sim is back to 0. All right. Going to put MNQ 0626 on the left. I'm done with oil for the morning. Made $30. All right. Gold and silver were 9 o'clock winners for you. Looks good. Sounds good, Nitin. Looking at gold, 0426. So it looks like it was a good short. How big of a bracket? 25? 30? Okay. All right. Back to MNQ 0626 on the left chart. I'm going to put a magnet on the MNQ just to watch. So at the moment, I'm not putting it on high of day or low of day. I'm just leaving it on off. Couple of positions, couple of
German Chancellor
contracts,
Merz
two
says he spoke with the
contracts,
US President Trump on Sunday evening and outlined
stop
concern
of
over the Iran
75,
situation.
stop of 75. And the original first target is -3. That means if it gets to a magnet, if I were trading inside the magnet software, it would be using the default target. But I'm not trading inside the magnet right now. And we are having a magnet challenge starting Wednesday at noon. And once again, I'll explain how to use the software.
German Chancellor Merz says he told Trump about worries over attacks on Iranian power plants.
For just looking at signals, I don't even have to set up a trade unless I've said that I'm going to trade from inside the magnet. I'm going to use my reverse continue external if I'm going to do any trading on the MNQ magnet. But just so I'm set up, if I want to trade it at some point, I will put it on my funded account. The MNQ, I usually trade in the morning on my funded account. So the MNQ, I'll just be watching signals at the moment. It would be a good high of day, low of day if you wanted to just trade magnet high of day, low of day on MNQ. Because your low is very far away and your high is far enough away for it to be a valid trade. But we have a different setup trade normally in the morning. So I'm going to right click, I'm going to put a reverse continue on, click News Trader, change the breakout to a reverse continue. I'll put 2 contracts on at the moment, and I'll use a 75 tick target and a 75 tick stop on my reverse continuation. I'll label it MNQ reverse continue, and we'll trade that in the same account. That goes in our funded account also. And I'll turn that on. And then we'll put our breakout on, which undoubtedly will need the charts wide because there's so much volatility today. I'll right click. I'm going to actually put a third strategy on the same chart. Click News Trader. And I'm going to load my template. Go to Template, Load. Looking for MNQ New Open is the name of my template. MNQ New Open. Right click, rename it today's date, 3/23. And load it. Okay, when I load that template, normally it's 9/29/59 on the trigger, 9/29/59 on the activate entry. But we're going to make it 00 because we're going to check our bracket management. The bracket's 35. Choose the number of positions and contract you want to use. Targets of 40 and 100 today. 150 on the stop. And target 1 stop move is BE for break even. BE for break even. Then I'm going to leave it on sim. Apply it and OK it. I'm going to spread my chart so I can see how wide the bracket is. And before I do that, let's right click, highlight the breakout, go to optional, and make sure show vertical line entry is off, unchecked. Turn on the
Order
trade.
submitted. Order
See
canceled.
how it's pretty tight? So we'll widen the chart. You know, you can press the F.
Order submitted. Order canceled.
If you don't change your charts, you can press the F and it puts the chart on its default setting.
Order
And you
submitted.
can trade that way if you don't want the
Order
charts
canceled.
spread apart.
Order submitted. Order
I
canceled.
like everything centered, but you don't have to do it that way. So we have a breakout management, and then I'll go back to the strategy, highlight the breakout, put the time back to 9:29:59, the bracket's 35, targets of 40 and 100, target one stop move is break even, and the stop is 150 today. And it's labeled MNQ break even open. However you want to label it, just label it. And choose the account that it's trading in, apply it, and OK it. Put the chart trader on the account that all your MNQ setups are on. And then you can turn it on. Now my YMs, I'm going to work on my Lucid account with my YMs and my RTYs this morning. So YM, we have a reverse continue. All right. We set it up a little while ago. We're just trading one contract for a 35 tick target and a 35 tick stop. And we're going to put that in our Lucid account, which I forgot to turn on. So let's wait 1 second. Let's turn it on. Okay. Let's go back. Right click strategy. Highlight our reverse continue. 35 tick target. 35 tick stop. YM reverse continue is the label. And we'll put it on our Lucid account. Apply it, OK it, and then make sure the chart trader is on that account also. So you see the orders. And then our YM magnet, high of day, low of day. And I think I'll trade 2 contracts. But I'm only trading 1 position. I want to get to the magnet high of day or low of day, and that'll be my exit. My stop is 50, and my target is -3. 3 ticks, default target, 3 ticks before I get to the magnet. It's labeled YM magnet, and I'll put that on my Lucid account also. And then we'll put our chart trader on Lucid. When you turn on your magnet, you have to place your orders, right? So I don't think we're going to drop 800 ticks to get to the low, but anything is possible in these markets. Our sell is '06. It's a pretty big profit if we sell there and hit our target. Our buy is 157. My feeling is if we get above 100, we'll probably get a nice test of the high. So I'm going to buy around 119. We'll see if we get there. RTY, I'm going to put a reverse continue on the chart. Change the breakout to a reverse continue. One position, 35 target, 35 stop. And we'll trade the RTY in.
China's Foreign Ministry says China Foreign Minister Wang Yi met with UK's Prime Minister National Security Advisor.
Number 36 this morning. And we'll label it RTY reverse continue. Under optional, show vertical line on entry. We'll get rid of that. Apply it.
And China's Foreign Minister
okay
Wang Yi says
Put
should
our
step
chart
up
trader
cooperation
on
in all
36.
fields.
And we have an RTY reverse continue setup. Now RTY actually looks very nice for magnets this morning. We have a range trade on the RTY that's been working nicely. So thanks to one of our members, Langford, who told us about this setup, we've been using it with a little bit bigger stop. It's been working nicely. Excuse me. But RTY looks great for magnets this morning also. I'll do our range because it's been working. Click News Trader. It's a range trade. Change the breakout to a range. Scroll all the way down to optional first, and let's uncheck show vertical line on entry. Then go to range trade, and you're starting the range trade at 925. 00. 6 ticks above the range, 6 ticks below the range. Show the range graphics on chart. Then go all the way to the top. Range end, 930. 930, 00. Position 1 is a 1, position 2 is a 1. I use 10 ticks on position 1. I'm going to use 25 ticks. Just trying to think. Usually I use 10 and 20. I'll use 10 and 20 this morning. My stop is 35. And target 1 stop move is break even. If it hits my first target, the stop goes to break even. That's my range trade. So one more time, label it RTY range, okay? Don't forget to choose the account that it's trading in. Let me check. I think that's not the right account. No, it needs to be in 38. And I'll verify that. My reverse continue also needs to be in 38. Let's make sure that's a viable account. I have a couple of blown accounts that I'm waiting for them to reset. No, 38's no good. 36 is good. 36 is good. Okay, my mistake. 36 is good. Go back to strategies. The range trade goes on account 36. Start the range at 925, 6 ticks above, 6 ticks below. Show the range graphics on chart. End the range at 930. Position 1's a 1, position 2 is a 1. Target 1 is 10, target 2 is 20. The stop is 35. Target 1 stop move is break even. And we said 36 is good. Apply it, okay it. The reverse continue. Make sure it's in the same account that your range is in. Apply it all in, okay it, and then make sure your chart trader is on that particular account so you see things. Now, Lucid, I gotta change the color of Lucid because Lucid uses Ninja's sim color. It is a slow news week. No earnings to speak of. I didn't see the news on that LaGuardia crash. How bad was it? I didn't see that in the news at all. Yes, the time zones are different. Correct. Time zones are different. It's okay. So we have a whole a myriad of setups set up. So the first thing I'm going to go over all the setups anyway. So MNQ. We have an MNQ magnet just to look at signals after the open. That's the purpose of the magnet on the MNQ. We have a breakout on the MNQ. Our MNQ breakout is a breakout trade and it triggers at 929.59 with a 35 bracket. Everyone chooses their own number of positions and contracts. That's your own personal choice, the risk. But I use a target of 40 and 100 today on this setup. Target 1 stop move. If the first target gets filled, it'll move my stop to break even, BE. And I have a stop of 150. I've been using 125 on my stops. Today is a little bit of markets are pretty out there. Definitely an anomaly day. So I'm using a little bit bigger stop, 150. And that's my MNQ setup. Make sure it's labeled, breakout MNQ open, and then choose the account you're trading it on, and then apply it and okay it, turn it on, and make sure your chart trader is on the account that your setups are on. Okay. And I also have a
US natural
reverse
gas futures extend
continuation
losses,
set up
prices
for the
down by
MNQ.
5% to two-week low on a drop in global energy prices.
And my reverse continuation on the MNQ this morning is a target of 75 and a stop of 75. It's a scalp, okay? Reverse continuations are scalps. That's all they are. If you decide to use it. So that's our MNQ reverse continue. And then we have a YM magnet set up. High of day, low of day. High of day, low of day. When you turn on the magnet, you can place your orders. You can move your order lines, the heavy lines. I'm not sure we're going to get 800 ticks of a price falling to hit the low. Probably not while we're in the room. Probably not going to fall 800 ticks. Unless if the markets believe that Trump is not speaking anything near the truth, then the markets will drop. Iran has said he's not telling the truth. Um, you have all the setups. You have to look at the little arrow by the word breakout. Press the arrow by the word breakout and it'll open up 3 other setups. So in other words, I have a breakout trade set up on the MNQ. When I right click on the strategy and I go to trade type up at the top, it opens up 3 different trade setups: reverse continue, range trade, and breakout trade. So if it's a breakout, you choose breakout. If it's a range trade, you choose range. If it's a reverse continue, you choose reverse continue. So the one thing I highly recommend, everybody gets the same email when you sign up. And there's a video called Quick Start. Highly recommend that you watch that video. Now, we're watching the RTY range trade. We also have a reverse continuation on, we always put a reverse continuation pretty much on every chart. Every chart. I'm thinking of putting magnets on every chart these days as well. So I don't think I'll rush out of the room this morning. We'll hang around a little bit after the open and see what happens. See how the markets behave. Hey, I wish they'd get rid of daylight savings time. It's stupid. It's like an anachronism. Nobody cares about it anymore. It just creates confusion. There's really no reason for it.
1 minute remaining for the market on open imbalance.
All right, we've got 1 minute. Now, I do worry about the integrity of our data feed this morning. I would not be surprised to see frozen orders this morning. Maybe I should not have
10
used our
seconds.
funded account.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
Market on open imbalance. S&P 500
Order
sell side
failed.
5 billion.
So
Nasdaq 100
I
buy
was
side
definitely worried
118
about
million.
getting a
Dow
short
30 sell
fill
side 1.6 billion.
on
Buy
the
7 buy side
MNQ,
606 million.
Order submitted. Order failed.
but I'll take a scalp there. Take one scalp. Now that the RTY
Excuse me.
worked immediately,
Repeating. Market on open imbalance. S&P
that worked
500 buy side
instantly.
578 million. Nasdaq 100
YM did
sell
not
side
fill
17
yet.
million. Dow 30 buy side
RTY went
130
right through
million.
the
Mag
range
7 sell
and
side
worked
9
perfectly.
million.
I may, the MNQ has definitely been difficult this week. You had a winner, Calvin? What was your brackets and setup? I got stopped. I got stopped on the MNQ. Yeah, I used a little bit bigger bracket, only 35 though. Only 35. Now I'm just watching for a moment. MNQ is kind of far. YM is far from filling. Now I'm going to turn off the breakout from the MNQ. I don't need it. And I don't need the RTY range trade. That was a winner. All right. That trade's over. I can remove that. Now on the RTY, now you can put magnets. A magnet on the RTY. High of day, low of day looks interesting. Right now, one position with a -3 target and a 45 stop. Label it RTY. I'll put the RTY in my Lucid account at the moment. Turn on the high of day, low of day.
Supermicro Computers shares down 2% after dropping more than 33%
Now the
last
RTY
week.
might be a little, I might try something just for fun. It's a little close
US
to
listed
the
energy stocks
VWAP.
down as oil
To
prices
try
fall after Trump puts
targeting
off
the
threat to
VWAP.
bomb Iran power grid. Russell 2000 index up 2%.
But let's say I wanted to test the VWAP. That's what I would do. I would put it on manual entry and target the VWAP and put it on automatic to see if it would fill.
Order submitted.
There's my fill. Now I want a stop at least above the wick. The stop has to be above the wick.
US listed energy stocks down as oil prices fall. Chevron down 1.3%. ExxonMobil down
So I was actually
1.8%.
testing something in the software also. So if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But it was very important that it triggered that trade. Now, it may be that the RTY is going to go up. It may be that I just caught it at the wrong side of the move. We'll see. It's very choppy, very choppy. I'm just looking for a VWAP test. That's all I'm looking for. I'll take half a VWAP
The
test right
S&P
now.
500
I
energy
was
index
really,
slips 1.1%.
honestly, folks, I was testing the software. No joke. Testing the software. Let's go. Hit the V. Go halfway to my VWAP.
Order filled.
All right. So we made a couple of bucks. I'm going to be distributing a new version of the software before the challenge. Okay? Before the challenge. So I'll let everybody know when it's up. So that was a good half test of the VWAP at the moment. These are difficult markets to scalp, you guys. Everybody, very difficult to scalp. I mean,
Shares of US banks rise amid
this
broad
is
market rally following Trump's comments on
big
Iran.
candle consolidation. I'd like to take another trade in my funded account, but I'm a little bit too worried about no real strong direction. Okay? I'm just a little bit, I want to go short, but I'm just worried that the market won't follow through. Now, the YM, we just didn't, we were stuck in the middle of all the ranges this morning. So we just didn't have a trade on the YM. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Now, see, I wanted to take a short on the MNQ, but I didn't. And now the momentum is long. Now the momentum is long. Let's hang around for a few minutes. Let's see if
Shares of US bank
any
rise. JP Morgan Chase
interesting
up
signals
1.9%.
get generated.
Bank of America up 1.5%.
We should get a VWAP long signal be generated here
Natural
shortly.
gas
I don't know if I
companies
would
fall,
take it.
tracking drop in global energy prices.
Not sure I would take it.
EQT down 1.8%.
We won't get signals on the MNQ because we're nowhere near the VWAP and we're nowhere near the high of day, low of day. See, we got our long signal on the VWAP. It's a big stop, a big stop. It's probably going to work, but your stop has to be below the low of the day. Now, the long would have been in the middle of this candle. I was watching when that signal showed up. It was in the middle of the second candle. So keep that in mind. It's not super profitable yet. It's not super. Now it's probably negative, to be honest. This next candle is very important.
Citi up 2.8, Morgan Stanley up 2.2%.
I think I'm going to remove the YM. And let's put the account buster gold on here. Maybe we should put micro gold, right? So you don't blow up an account in 1 second. Wow, gold was down over $200 when I last checked. Now it's down 149. You might be wise to use micro gold if you're going to trade gold today. MGC 0426. So let's say you're going to modify our YM magnet, right? So we have a magnet that was set up for the YM. So let's immediately change the name to micro gold magnet, MGC. All right, and we will change the setup. High of day, low of day, I'll leave it. 2 positions is fine, and -3 is fine. We need to set up a reverse continue also. The stop, I'd make it 75. I'm setting up the reverse continue from inside the magnet. I'll show you how it works. A stop of 60, a target of 50. 2 contracts. I'll just show you how it works. Let me change the name to GC reverse continue, MGC reverse continue. Now hang on, that's a different setup. So my regular external reverse continue will be 2 positions for 60 tick target, and we'll do a 60 tick stop. Okay, that's our regular reverse continue. And we are on Lucid. But from inside the magnet,
Seeing shares of Palantir rising 5.4% after reports of Pentagon to adopt company's AI
from
as core
inside the
US military
magnet,
system.
if you wanted to trade a reverse continue, you can. Set it up, scroll all the way down to reverse continue. How many positions? So 2 contracts.
Trump on Iran says we have had strong talks.
Target of 60, stop of 60. All right.
Trump on Iran says we'll see where talks lead, and we have major points of agreement.
And it's on Lucid. Apply it and okay it. So let's say, so you have
Trump
to
says
turn
Iran needs
on your
better
magnet.
public relations people.
We have a high of day, low of day
Trump on Iran
magnet
says
set
Witkoff
up.
and Kushner had talks.
All right. But let's say I wanted
Trump's on
to
Iran says if they
But let's say I wanted
Trump's on
to
Iran says if
instantly
they
go
carry
long.
through,
I
we
can
will end
use
conflict.
the reverse continue long button or the reverse continue short button. That's what setting it up inside the
It's also
magnet
Trump
does.
now
Look at
responding to questions about Iran's denial of talks.
how good that
So Trump
RTY
says
trade
that
was.
there were discussions on Sunday
That
into the
signal
evening.
was fantastic. That was one fantastic signal. Well, was it
Trump's
fantastic? It
Peter
was
already
very
said earlier
good.
on, but again saying on that they
The
want to make a deal,
entry,
and we want to
remember
make
I
a
said
deal
it was
too.
in the middle of this candle. So
Just keep
let's
an
say
eye
it was
on the stock index.
2508.
It's seeing a little bit of
So it would have been
movement, but it's
12
tiny.
points
Trump says that we
of
will talk
profit on
today,
the
probably by
RTY.
phone,
Pretty good.
on Iran, and on Iran that we hope to meet soon.
That would have been pretty darn good.
Trump on Iran says that I hope to settle this, adding that that we talked to top leadership. Trump in Iran says US talked to Iranian top respected leader. Just a heads up, Trump speaking to reporters at the moment.
All right, folks.
Trump on Iran says that we have not heard from Ayatollah's son, supreme leader.
Unfortunately, we missed a great signal.
So Trump talking about Iran's new supreme leader, Mujtaba, saying, I don't want him to be killed.
The reason I was hesitating 2506, and the stop, it was about a 12-point stop. So it was a pretty big stop.
Trump on Iran says we're looking for no nuclear weapons.
No, the blue
and
arrow
peace in
is
the
from
Middle
the
East.
magnet, not from the reverse continue. It's from the magnet strategy. The magnet signals are VWAP and high of day, low of day signals. The default inside the magnet strategy is VWAP signals and high of day signals are checked. So the default is it will
Trump
generate
says on Iran, if the deal
VWAP
happens, it's a great
and
start for Iran
or
and
high
great for
of
the
day,
region.
low of day strategies.
Trump says we want no enrichment. We also want the enriched uranium. So again says we want no enrichment, and we also want the enriched uranium.
So when you go to set up a magnet strategy, let's say you're going to set up a new one.
Trump says a $200 billion military funding would be nice to have.
When you set up your magnet strategy, if you scroll down, let me find it, you'll find not indicators, where are they? Where's my signals? Aftershock reversal, high of day signals checked, VWAP signals checked. That's what creates those signals. So that's just part of the magnet strategy, and that's the default. VWAP and high of day. There's also signals ARS standalone, but those you have to really be careful because that generates signals just based on momentum, and there's too many changes in momentum. So you have to be very careful if you use standalone signals. It generates a lot of signals. All right, the markets are kind of strange. So the YM micro gold, it's really slowed down. Doesn't look like we're not going to get to a high of day at the moment.
Trump says Israel will be very happy with what we have in Iran.
So let's go over what happened on the open. The oil open was a tiny winner, 3 ticks,
Trump on
sorry.
Iran talk says we can't guarantee a deal. Trump on Iran talk says that I talked to Israel a little while ago.
MNQ did not work. We scalped a little bit back, but the MNQ did not work this morning, for me anyway. And then the YM, we did not have a trade, just didn't get filled. And the RTY, we had a scalp to test the VWAP, and our range trade worked perfectly on the open.
Trump on Iran says
So
they called,
RTY
I didn't call.
had 2 winners. And that's how this morning's open went. All right, I'm going to end our YouTube stream and thank everyone for joining us on YouTube. Let me just look at one thing before I go on YouTube.
Trump on Iran says it's very easy to take enriched uranium ourselves if we have a deal. says we are very willing to make a deal. Trump and Iran says, I want to have as much oil in the system as possible.
Okay, thank you everyone on YouTube. We'll be streaming tomorrow morning. So hit the notification bell and the like button on your way out, please.